in this video, I have a saying about giving a rat's ass that's kind of funny. That how can you give a rat's ass? The ass of the rat isn't yours to give, so let the rat keep his ass. Or you can pick up a rat in tandem to somebody else's ass first, and yes, you're giving a rat's ass. And if the other person wants to accept the rat ass first, to give a rat's ass, you're sort of offering up the rat's ass, and it's up to the other person if he wants to accept. So I'll have another saying too, that in some certain things, that if a rat's ass should really be offered or even given about a particular subject. So that's what I say about tolerance to a certain thing. You can say sometimes you give a shit. There's some and I also have a thing where I say there's certain aspects of giving a shit or giving a fuck. It's not that I don't give a shit or give a fuck. It's there's some aspects of giving a shit or giving a fuck that I don't give a shit or a fuck about. And at any given time, when and where should a rat's ass be given, or a fuck be given, or a shit be given, or even offered? You know what I mean? Alright, what's up, yins guys? Time for another video. And I was writing long-winded things about this in blogs because on our news we get certain incidents that happens in bars, and wherever you guys live you probably have something on your news about shit like this. And before I go on, I'm not gonna go and like I'm insulting anybody, like there's anything wrong with going to bars and having a drink. Quite frankly, when I was in one of my best paying jobs in a town I was at, I never was really this bar stool person. I would go to a particular cafe that's, you know, the kind of places that the waitresses and people, without using words, just by actions when they come over the table, would tell you, this is not a bar. If you want to have one drink after another, go over there. Kind of place where you go and have a beer with burger and fries. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with going to some sports bar. You watch sports, eat wings, have a good time, play pool. But yeah, there's a lot of people, unfortunately, in the news that they go to the bar to be Mr. Badass, you know, and then end up going to prison for the rest of their life, shooting somebody, or in a lot of cases getting beat up. If they don't do the beating up, going to jail. And yes, I understand, before I go on here, yes, you can be minding your own business, having a beer, shooting pool, and get beat up in a bar. Anyway, before anybody goes, oh yeah, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? My case here, that I figure I'd clear that up right away before I go and talk about my subject matter in here, okay? Set that stuff straight before anybody goes, oh, fuck you, and yada yada. Get that out the way. But anyway, this is about, okay, just because this is addressing what I call victim worship, and you want to define a victim. Okay, say somebody gets beat up in a bar. It happens all the time, yes. The cops, the formal, by the book definition of the victim. Okay, yeah, the person unfortunately got beat up or injured, that's on the bad end of the deal, and some other one started it, you know what I mean, and beat the hell out of somebody because maybe they were the alpha in the bar and just beers in them, whatever the fuck the reason is. That happens to be against the law in the eyes of the cops, and by the book, the crimes code, is the victim. Yes, the one who got beat up. But that does not mean that every single victim is a innocent lamb. I mean, and I would tell you one thing too, you know, if you see on the news certain ones, they've had criminal histories. Some of your victims, I'm making your case, my case here, that just because they're a victim out there in the world, you see it on the news, and liberal leftists don't like this kind of shit too. But this is what I speak, that's for your own personal safety. It's called having common sense for your own personal safety, okay? That just because somebody is a victim, not every single victim is the same in the bar lifestyle, and some bars are better than others. And I said in the beginning not to insult bars or anybody that goes to them, not all of, you know what I mean? A lot of times, you know, you want to take 10 victims in bar beatings or fights in any kind of place, anywhere where you live. There may be 1, 2, 3, or 4, or half of them, or you give me a number. Would you say 90% of them, 80%, 50%, or there? Anyway, there is a portion of these victims just because they're victims on the news in the eyes of the police because the police came and it's determined. It does not mean that victim. It does not always mean that that victim is a person. Excuse me, it does not mean they're a person who you want to hang with. You don't know where they've been. And some of you guys watching us probably know that shit for a fact. And some people will give you arguments in blogs and say, oh, a person did this years ago, blah, 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 or he was accused of being this or that. And quite frankly, if the person was a pedophile and they get beat up, I technically don't, really, honestly don't give a fraction of a shit. But again, it is against the law if the cops come and you do it in the bar and they get injured or killed, they'll throw you in jail. But yeah, I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan. Me along with other people are a fan of like YouTube videos like top 10 pedophiles that got fucked up in prison or whatever. We're like that. But I'm saying that, yeah, there are ones that are known as bad. There are people that the victims that they weren't convicted of crimes, or maybe got convicted of one years ago that did shit or whatever. Oh, and yes, there are ones that maybe did shit in the past, right? And they didn't get caught doing anything else, but they made themselves a bad reputation with people, and even though it's against the law, people want to beat them up, and these are the ones you don't want to hang with because they might want to beat you up or shoot you. But these people that engage in victim worship, okay, don't see it that way. You know what I mean? They see you as the asshole. And just like my disclaimer in the beginning of the video, that they shouldn't get offended. As a matter of fact, anybody that goes to a bar and has a beer once in a while, this should be, rather than get offended, you know, especially if they're on the left, that they know this should be common knowledge to them right away. You know, watch who you hang with, even though there's a victim. You know what I'm saying? Cat's over there scratching on the rug. But anyway, that does, yeah, anything you see, these people, yes, there are thug worshippers and worshippers of the alpha male one, the alpha male in the bar too. There are the alpha males, both black or white, you know, that are the thugs and the badasses. And there are people that go to bars and be friends with them and be kissing their asses and stroking their ego. And as long as they stroke their ego, they don't get their ass kicked. Oh, and they do all that simping just so they can go to look to morons. Well, I don't want to call them all morons, different kind of people that they want to rebel against, whether people that go to the church, you know, you pick it. They want to appear like they're going in and out of this bar, this badass bar, when some of them could be punk-ass bitches simping up to the alpha male or thug, whether they're black or white. And they want to be there. Do you get ones that are, instead of pretending to be gangster, they're more content and satisfied with simping up to the pseudo-gangster or the alpha male, and it's all fine and dandy till maybe that alpha male or whatever gets in a wrong mood with a few beers in them, and unwittingly something gets said and they get their ass kicked. So that doesn't work out very good now either, does it? Yes, you could be a person minding your own business, getting your ass kicked too, yes. But people got this victim worship mentality that yeah, we all understand what a victim is in the sight of the law. Whatever the police, when the police come, what they see, they charge whoever by the book. But I'll say again, that does not mean that you can't say all victims are created equal. They're not innocent lambs. And yeah, they're people that a lot of times you don't want to hang with. And people will deflect and argue with you. A lot of them are very liberal and Democrat. That I said, and then you got to tell them, no, I'm not being a bigot. I'm not being a heartless asshole. I'm not being an asshole. That's called common sense and protecting one's own self-interest. And it's called how not to go to a bar and get shot, how not to go in a bar and to get stabbed or beat up by a bunch of people. And also it can be called which certain places to not go into in the first place, into bars. I admit that there are some more reputable and good places than others, and they make a lot of effort to kind of try to keep that element from creeping in, you know what I mean? There's places that have nuisance bar laws that they could shut a bar down if there's problems, you know what I mean? And they have loitering laws for certain reasons, loitering outside bars, but alcohol does strange things to a certain amount of people, you know what I mean? But everybody's saying the victim, the victim, the victim. And I'm not against the victim, but I'm saying not every victim is. Some victims will drag you down with them. They'll have the police coming after you. They'll have their enemies coming after you. What the fuck is so hard about that? You know what I mean? But yeah, everybody is known to go on emotion. Oh, that poor so-and-so got beat up. And if you got this far in this video, you want to ask yourself one question. And since I also make the case that there's always selective outrage, people are always picking and choosing. And they will be all coddling this particular victim because everybody on their social media or anybody out there in the world tells them, or their clique or crowd tells them. But yet this other person gets beat up the same way as a victim, nobody bats an eye. Yeah, they pick and choose. And yeah, that's pretty much how they do it. And you want to ask yourself one question before engaging in victim worship, okay? If it was you or me, and speaking for myself, I know if it was me, how do I know anybody's going to go, and the media is going to coddle me, all that poor so-and-so, be giving financial contributions to me and my family, help me out. If it was you, how do you know? I mean, say, yeah, so you watching this, you don't probably go to some bar and you don't go and do shit. And yes, you can be a victim going in the wrong place. And yes, you can get beat up for wrong reasons when you didn't do shit to nobody. Yes, absolutely. And if it happens to you, how the fuck are you going to know if these victim worshippers are going to come coddling you? Are they going to coddle you? Are they going to raise all kind of hell? Oh, that poor so-and-so, call you the poor so-and-so, and that other person or group as the monsters? Probably not. Oh, maybe if it's your immediate family or circle of friends, probably. And no, you're not going to ask to be coddled. I know I don't ask to be coddled or look to be coddled. I don't know about you. But some of us have the sense, maybe have also some sense too. You go into an establishment of any kind, something ain't right, go with your gut, you know what I mean? I mean, that's the trouble with this world. Some people will go into damn near any bar or any place or whatever. And some people don't even realize, right, a little bit of the time that element creeps in. That happens too. Yeah, shit happens. Yeah, so there is actual victims, and then there is victims that carry other things around them. You know what I mean? You got to be aware of those. Can't stress that enough. And people that are diehard leftists that that lifestyle was their whole life, you know. Oh yeah, I drink and do whatever drug I want, drink all I want, and look to have a sexual relationship with whoever I want. Fuck the church, fuck the police. Those kind of people are going to just talk down to you and call you the asshole or whatever, too. And those ones that call to you the asshole, right, are the ones, some of them may be the punk ass bitches that are very content with not being gangsta or pretending to be gangster, but simping up to the gangster, or Mr. King of the Badasses, or Mr. King of the local badasses is in the bar to try to act like, oh yeah, I got the local badasses behind my back. Those are the kind of people that will talk down to you and try to belittle you and act like call you all kind of names or whatever the hell. But yeah. But to end this video, I will mention one little comment. There's a female version of this, and this out there too, that's in the bars or whatever too. You got to watch out for them. You could say that in the whole video. Certain women to avoid too, you know. And I remember an old movie called Spellbinder. You know, I don't want to give away the end of it. And to me, it's a movie that more like it's a cautionary tale. You know what I mean? In the end, I don't want to. I trying to make up my mind. I don't want to, spoil it. But you could find it in your Netflix and watch it. I think it's a cautionary tale on other material that I would say in another video. Cautionary tale about don't be so quick to be a white knight. Better off call the cops. It's their job to be the assholes. It's not you. And it's their jobs to risk their asses and get shot at, not you. And well, you don't want to see the cops get shot in the process either, or when they're not bad cops. And you don't want to see your buddy trying to be a white knight get shot or whatever too. But a movie Spellbinder is more like different. It came to my mind. I'd probably do a review of the movie later. But anyway, yeah. If you got this far in there, being the white knight is not a good thing either. It'll just create problems like, hey, even though you don't go to a particular bar, I can argue if you don't go to a particular bar anymore, never go there anymore because of that, the particular people involved are so narcissistic because of their drunken lifestyle that they'd be looking for you in town, and it's never going to end unless you're legally armed and have the legal right to take them out and the court. And then if you do have to do that, then you better hope damn well that the court sides with you under the circumstances. That's just ballpark, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I could go on and on, but I'm going to end it right here.